I'm Ted Keys, your host and top freight agent training expert here in Southern California. Welcome to this edition of your Freight Sales Success Training. After watching and applying it, you'll move more freight efficiently, effectively, and effortlessly, and make more money financially. And if you have any questions, call me, Ted Keys, at 626-309-9141. Now enjoy watching, learning, and applying. Guys, hello and welcome to my Tuesday training call. Again, I'm Ted Keys, your host and top freight sales training expert. This is a free high-powered training I hold live every Tuesday for new, struggling, and top-producing freight sales agents, forwarders, and freight brokers at 2 p.m. Pacific Time and 5 p.m. Eastern Time. Today, I'll show you how to move more freight efficiently, effectively, and effortlessly so you multiply your income financially. And after this training, go to my website, tedkeysonline.com, to hear more of my podcasts, read more of my blog posts, watch more of my videos, and then visit my Freight Sales Success store for top-notch freight moving products that multiply your income as well. When you arrive at my Freight Sales Success store, you'll see a host of products available there for purchase. First one you'll see is my Freight Sales Success Guide, typically for beginner and struggling freight agents, that when you join our top producing freight sales office, I do provide this for you free of charge. Next product you'll see there is my Freight Sales Success Quotes. These quotes will get you motivated daily for you to get on the phone and make connections and build relations with the marketplace. Third product you'll see there is my Freight Sales Success Skills. These skills, as you'll see, this profession requires a tremendous amount of different skills. My Freight Sales Success Skills will teach you what's required to become a success. And also, my next product you'll see is my Freight Sales Success Training that will take you from knowing little or nothing about moving freight to watching the videos and covering your first load and beyond. Those products available in my Freight Sales Success store. And while you're there at my website, on any page you happen to be, just go to the right and enter your contact details. By doing that, you'll receive your own weekly email invite to this and every training. You'll also get my free attachments I provide on every training. You'll also get my free report that's been downloaded thousands of times, 11 ways freight brokers move 20 plus more loads per week. And if you want to multiply your income with my top producing freight sales success system for freight brokers, agents, forwarders, importers, and exporters, then go to tedkeysonline.com to get started. Today's training topic is freight sales voicemails that generate callbacks. Freight sales voicemails that generate callbacks. So for those of you that are on my contact list already and you've received a number of invites to get on the call today, just go to any one of those invites, scroll down to the bottom and open up or print out that attachment if you haven't done it already, where I'm going to talk today about freight sales voicemails that generate callbacks. And I'm not going to go over a specific voicemail to leave because there are specific voicemails to leave at specific times. If you have my Freight Sales Success Guide, you'll see that I do offer two specific voicemails. One is if you call our office or if somebody calls your office, I give an example of the type of voicemail that you leave. Or if you're leaving a message with, say, a freight prospect, I give an example there. But again, we're going to talk about these specific, I'm going to talk about specific tips as you're leaving those voicemails. So freight sales voicemails that generate callbacks. And these tips, provided you follow them, they will generate at least an interest in your freight prospect to take an interest and give you a call back. But let me just start off by saying a good voice message is like a movie trailer. Boy, how often do we watch movie trailers to get us peaked on what that trailer is about? A voicemail, a voice message is no different. In order for it to be successful, guys, it must pique curiosity. It must pique curiosity, but not tell the entire story. So you'll still want to need and hear more. And really, that's what a movie trailer does. It piques your curiosity to get you in, but you don't want to know so much as to know what the movie's about. When you leave a voicemail and you follow my tips, you're going to do the same thing. But before I get into the crux of my points that I'm going to go over, I'm going to go over 6 points first that basically are not in your attachment. These are not in your attachment. So just follow along as I go over these 6 first. The first point you have to take into consideration when you leave a voicemail, that first tip is, again, I just talked about it. Create curiosity, but not tell the entire story. Create curiosity, but not tell the entire story. First curiosity that I create is I come right out and say, hey, this is Ted, I'm with Logistic Dynamics. All right, this is Ted, I'm with Logistic Dynamics. Boy, not only that, but I speak it with authority. I don't or well. That is the first thing that I do to create curiosity. I let them know who it is that's calling and where I'm calling from. Point number 2 is act as if you know each other. Regardless of who you're calling, regardless of who that freight prospect is, again, it's high probability that you've either you have or you haven't spoke to them. When you leave your voicemail, act as if you already know them. Act as if you already have a building, working relationship with already. Again, that's going to pique their curiosity because it's going to make them think or feel, gee, do I know this person? Because they're talking like I do know them. So again, the second point is act as if you know each other. Third point, before I get going on my main points, is speak with authority. Speak with authority, just like I'm speaking to you right now. Man, I could know nothing about moving freight. However, I'm speaking to you as if I have the authority to do so. And I'm saying do the same thing when you leave a voicemail. Speak as if you have authority. Speak as if you've been doing this for a long time. Speak with authority. Fourth point is don't sound desperate. Don't sound like you're desperate. Just sound like you're, again, speaking with authority, being curious, piquing their curiosity. Don't sound desperate. Don't sound like, gee, this is Ted from LDI calling again. That's sounding desperate. Who cares if you've left 10 voicemails with this individual already? Because believe me, if you're attempting to get into Pepsi or Budweiser or Walmart, you're going to leave many, many voicemails in order for somebody to finally call you back. So don't sound desperate, because when you attempt to get into companies like that, you better not sound desperate, because they will not utilize somebody that does sound desperate. They will utilize somebody that has a system in place that's going to assist them in becoming successful and in getting their freight out from Irwindale, California to, if we're talking Budweiser, to all these different distribution centers across the country. So don't sound desperate. Be authentic is point number 5. Be authentic. Point number 5. Be yourself. Don't be somebody that you're not. Be yourself. Give them an idea of who they will be dealing with as you attempt and finally make contact with them. Because as I said it in past calls, if you give them the idea that you're somebody else, that's who they're going to be expecting. Right now, as I speak to you, you're getting who I am. My personality, I am a lion type. I am forthright. I get to the point. This is who I am. This is how I'm being authentic with you. That's point number 5. Point number 6 before I get going here is now this is for me. This is for me. When I leave a voicemail, I like to be short and sweet. And I like it when people are short and sweet with me as well. When they call, they don't they don't they don't well. They say their name, they say where they're calling from, they say the purpose of their call, and boom. That's what's going to get my attention. Now remember, when you leave voicemails, you have to understand and remember that Many other freight sales agents are leaving voicemails as well with your freight prospect. How will you stand out? How will you stand out? Well, that's what we're going to talk about today as I discuss freight sales voicemails that generate callbacks, freight sales voicemail tips basically that generate callbacks. So here's a first major point as you leave a voicemail. First tip is this: be honest and forthright. Here's an example. My name is Ted Keys. I'm calling from Logistic Dynamics. That's being honest and forthright. Here's who I am. Here's where I'm calling from. I don't want them to get any other type of idea that I am none other than my name, Ted Keys, and I'm calling from Logistic Dynamics. First major point, first major tip, be honest and forthright. Second major tip is don't repeat what the answering system says. Don't repeat what the answering system says. Now, you may, a lot of times you're going to be put into a voicemail, okay? Especially if you're calling for the first time, and especially if you don't know who the shipping decision maker is. It's just that the gatekeeper, who knows, likes you, feels sorry for you. It could be a number of different things, but they've put you through to the shipping decision maker's voicemail. Before you actually leave a voicemail, you're going to hear what the system has to say. The system is going to tell you what to do. My point is this: don't repeat what the system says. And again, this could mean anything, okay? Don't repeat anything that the system says. So don't repeat what the answering system says, any part of it, okay? The third major point, the third major tip when you're leaving a voicemail for your shipping decision maker is change your greeting daily. Change your greeting daily. As I said earlier, there are some freight prospects, as you call over and over again. Case in point, I repeat this statistic on almost every call. 80% of your sales will come between your 5th and your 12th contact. That means you must make a lot of follow-up calls, whether they answer the phone or not. You must call repeatedly. And a lot of times you will have to leave a voice message to make that happen. So when you do call, change your greeting when you do. Don't just, leave the same old greeting every time that you call to follow up. Don't be monotone, all right? Let this individual know that you've got the goods, you've got the vigor, you've got the energy to tackle their challenges and move their freight. It's also showing them that you're being creative. You are a creative you're a creative problem solver in moving their freight. That's what's going to get their attention. If you just leave the same message over and over and over again, think of how excited they will be in getting back in touch with you. So change your greeting daily. Fourth major point, fourth major tip in leaving a voicemail message is be specific in your details. Be specific in your details. Again, goes back to my initial introduction. This is Ted Keys. I'm with Logistic Dynamics. I'm calling you on Monday at 2 p.m. See, I'm being specific in my details. I'm not umming, I'm not eyeing, I'm not welling. I'm giving them specific and certain details as to when I'm calling and leaving a voice message. So, major point number 4, be specific in the details that you leave. Be very specific, okay? Fifth major point in leaving voicemail messages is don't drag out your message. Don't drag it out, again, with ums and ahs and this is, gee, who am I? Oh, yeah, this is Ted. I'm with, gee, what's the name of my company? Oh, yeah, Logistic Dynamics. What time is it? Be specific in your details and get to the point. Be specific in your details. Again, I'm calling you at 3 o'clock on Monday. And again, going back to my point, don't drag out your message. That's like a combo. Be specific and don't drag it out. Be very specific. Don't drag it out. Next point, 6th point, is always review your message. If that voicemail system that you're utilizing gives you the opportunity to hear your message, always, always, always hear what you had to say. And if you don't like it, by gosh, delete the message and start over again. Remember, your biggest desire is to make a huge positive impression on this particular shipping decision maker. If you sound, if any of the points that I just went over are not down to down specifically as I discussed, delete the message and start all over again. So always, when given the opportunity, always review your message that you've already left. Next major point, tip in leaving a voicemail message is, if you're given the opportunity, use a PS in your message. Use a PS in your message, but don't do it unless what you're saying again is specific. Hey, this is Ted. I'm with Logistic Dynamics. I'm calling you at 3 o'clock on Monday. Purpose of my call is such and such and such and such. P.S. I'm specifically calling on your loads out of Nashville, Tennessee. Now, that is very specific in my PS. P.S. I'm specifically calling you on your loads out of Nashville, Tennessee. Now, I'm only saying that because I know that this freight prospect actually has loads out of Nashville, Tennessee. But again, I'm being very specific in my PS. Don't say, P.S., can I start moving your freight or something like that. What gets their attention is when you know something about them. So use a PS in your message, but when you do, again, be specific. Next major point is don't mention the previous calling attempts that you've made. Remember, in my training stat, your 80% of your calls, 80% of your sales are going to come between your 5th and your 12th contact. That means you have to leave a number of messages. So don't mention the previous attempts. Act as if, again, you know this person and you're leaving the same message just like you did last time. Switch it up a little bit. But as I said earlier, don't mention that you've already called 5 times. That shows that you're desperate, okay? So don't mention the previous attempts. Make it sound like, again, this is the first time you're calling them. Act like you know who they are. Don't repeat the points go on and on and on, but don't mention that you've already called 5, 8, or 10 times. Next major point in leaving a voicemail message is open your mouth wider. Open your mouth wider. Again, don't and well your way through a message. And when you do, it's typically because you're only opening your mouth a little bit. Really open it wide so you project your message just like I'm doing to you now. Open your mouth wider. Make your words sound verbal, like they're actually being heard. And the last major point is slow down when you're speaking. Now, I'm not slowing down when I'm speaking now, but what that means is when you're leaving a valuable piece of information or a specific piece of information. My name's Ted Keys. I'm with Logistic Dynamics. I'm calling you at Monday at 3 p.m. That's slowing down when you're speaking, and you're slowing down while you're speaking to give those specific details. Real quick rundown on, again, freight sales voicemails that actually get prospects to call you back. Be honest and forthright. Don't repeat what the answering system says. Change your greeting daily. Be specific in your details. Don't drag out your message with ums and ahs and wells and what you're doing today and how many times you called already. Don't drag out your message. Always review your message when you're given the opportunity. Also, when you leave a PS, be specific in your PS. Don't mention how many times you've called already. Open your mouth wider and slow down when you're speaking. You're going to slow down when you're speaking so they can actually hear you, hear the information that you're giving, and project those specific details that are important or that must be heard. Again, great topic for today. That is freight sales voicemails that generate callbacks. Again, freight sales, I'm going to say freight sales voicemail tips that generate callbacks. Great having you today on my Tuesday training call. Thank you so much for joining me again. I will be back here again next week, same time, 2 p.m. Pacific time, 5 p.m. Eastern time on my Tuesday training call. Take care. God bless. I'll see you all and hear you all again next week on my Tuesday training call. Take care, God bless, and goodbye. So to wrap up today's training, if you want to multiply your income to get more time, money, and freedom, then get my top producing freight sales success system at tedkeysonline.com. Go there now and get started today.